Welcome to the Lineman Lounge, hosted by Mike and Evo, calling their shots and being outlandish.
Breaking news from the Lineman Lounge. My fantasy football team just took a huge fucking hit. And that also makes it even more likely that the Raiders are going to beat the Ravens on Monday night. Le'Veon Bell is about to be your starter. Latavius Murray is going to go there as well. Jesus, fuck my ass.
Get ready for the thickest podcast in the game. Coming to you from Hangar 6, where sleeves are optional. Strap in. The show starts right now.
¿Cómo están, bitches? This is the Lineman Lounge. I'm Mike. That's Evo. And as you guys can see, shit's changed again. Evo's room has come together very, very nicely. I think he's getting set up for the streaming of the video Legos. I'm finally living in a fucking place that we can call our own for a little bit. We got an apartment, and man, I'm super pumped. We got a bunch of random things that we don't normally talk about. We talk about a little bit, but we're going to dive into those a little bit more today because NFL's in a little bit of a lull right now. But, I mean, we got baseball, we got NBA, we got UFC. We have even a little bit of youth sports again. Graydon is now back on a baseball team out here. So, yeah, I'm excited for today. I'm very excited for producer Amber to get back and get me some alcohol because I need it after these last couple of days that I've had moving in to this fucking apartment. I need to back this up a little bit. Let's get our boy, get his merch in there. $20 is $20. Oh,
he was streaming a little bit earlier. Right now, he is still playing some video games, but he's not streaming because he's in the last day of, him and some people, I believe, from his church were doing a weight loss challenge. He's been keto for the past 2 months and lost over 40 pounds, I believe, now.
Oh, great for Dave, man.
Yeah, absolutely. But I believe the weigh-in is tomorrow. So he cut the stream short so that way he could pound some bottles of magnesium citrate and blow his guts out to lose them last couple pounds. So
anybody who doesn't know what magnesium citrate is, it is the most god-awful thing on the planet, but you will lose a metric shit ton of weight, water or otherwise, very quickly because you're just going to be on the toilet all fucking night. That is the old trick for some guys that were close on their weight and tape.
Yeah, it will evacuate your bowels completely, both dehydrate you and remove any solid matter from your insides.
Yeah, it is no joke. It is tough. That's something that people who needed to pass tape or pass weight for the Army would do, as long as you were not taking the PT test on the same day, because, I mean, there's just no way you can pull that off.
It'd be real rough.
Oh, it'd be awful. But, I mean, good for Dave, losing 40 pounds even without the magnesium citrate going in.
Yeah, he's
awesome,
been doing a real good job, man. He's been sticking with that diet. Everyone's been trying to tempt him, and it's starting to piss me off because it's like you see a dude lose this much weight and he's putting in this much effort, and then everyone's like throwing Girl Scout cookies at him and stuff, and it's like, no, man, just give him a break. He'll be able to have his snacks and stuff here come next week if he wants to, but I think he should just stick with it for a little bit, lose a little bit more, maybe not be so dedicated to the diet. But keep with it generally and lose a little more, and then get yourself looking sexy. Get those fuck gutters back. Like you had in your youth.
That's awesome for Dave, man. And we know the Vanilla Gorilla is going to eat. So I just saw the comment. Of course, she's lost in the parking lot. We're getting used to everything out here in the Ohio area. It's very nice. It's fucking rained constantly, basically, since we got here. One of the reasons I am struggling with the little bit of the sickness is that it's just fucking constantly goddamn moist and wet. Not the kind of moist and wet that I like.
Midnight.
But yeah, it is. It's very nice. Very nice area. We took the kids into Cleveland. We went down to the flats. Got to check that out. It's been a lot of fun so far, but I mean, we got a ton more shit to do. We actually are going to go to a Guardians game tomorrow and, take the kids and do that whole thing since they have never been to Progressive Field. That's going to be a lot of fun. And we're getting to do something for Mother's Day. So before we go on and kind of dive into the show, we don't want to miss all the moms out there. My mom staying with us. Love you. Appreciate you. Obviously, the mother of my children. Love you. Producer of the show as well. Thank you guys. All the moms out there, you are awesome. And we appreciate everything that you do for us because without you guys, we would be completely fucked. We're too goddamn dumb to take care of ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love you, Mom. Thanks for everything that you've done for me. Love the lady I'm with now, who is a mother as well. Awesome mom there. And then to all the other moms out there, what's up?
What's up? Yeah, so I'm not gonna get in trouble by shouting out other moms, but Mother's Day is always fun, man. Like I have not done my traditional thing where I wait last minute and then rush out with the kids and go get Mother's Day gifts. This time I'm just not gonna get her a Mother's Day gift because I have nowhere to fucking put it right now. This apartment is in complete disarray with all the shit everywhere. We just got like the pod unpacked yesterday, and we're finishing that up today. So it's been an absolute clusterfuck. But we are going to go out. We're going to do some brunch, some mimosas, and then go catch a baseball game. So I feel like that's a pretty damn good Mother's Day.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. Sounds like a good day in general, Mother's Day or not. Honestly, I don't know about the mimosas if I'd be feeling that tomorrow because I've not been on a bender, but
you're a little rough right now.
The lady I'm dating is a little bit younger than I am, and so my age is catching up with me real quick. You know, we went out drinking last night, and then younger person drama ensued, between her and other people at the bar and everything, which is fucking. It is what it is, and then, so I got to bed sometime around 7, maybe. I think and again, it's about 2 p.m. here in Arizona, and I think she started a nap maybe in the past hour and a half, and we're going back out again tonight because not only is Mother's Day coming up, but it's her mom's birthday here in the next couple of days. So going out with her mom and having some more drinks, and I know it's going to be another long night. I'm sure that drama from yesterday will ensue.
Of course, it will obviously carry over for at least another, half a day.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, I slept with my mouth open, so I feel like Godzilla gave me a good throating. And my throat is rough right now. I am trying to hydrate a little bit, having some of my little C4 energies here and stuff like that to get a little boost, pick me up. But I mean, after this, I'm probably going to end up having a nap. So,
well, you're definitely going to need a little power nap if you're going out again. I can't do it no more, man. Especially with no food in your belly. Like I can't do that shit no more. Like I'll sit around. I'm very excited for producer Amber to get back so I can have a couple drinks. But I mean, I don't go out. And even if I do go out, producer Amber has to go because I need a responsible adult to go with me. Because I am not one of those. I'm adult enough to admit that I'm not responsible, but that's about the extent of my adulthood. Everything else, I just kind of fucking wing it. So, yeah. I mean, kudos to you. Your lady is fantastic. I love her. She's super fun, but God, I could not go back to being 24 again and just partying all the time. I'd fucking die at this point.
So I've got the ruptured discs in my lower back. I did just find out last week that I do have multiple bulging discs and nerve issues in my cervical spine confirmed by an MRI. When you go out after a night of drinking, not doing anything physical, but a night of drinking, and then all of that is just sore as fuck, like you're getting a little old, and I'm just like, God damn. Hold me down. It's I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It'll be fun to, I guess, relive my youth or something. I don't know. I'll fight through it. I always do.
Yeah.
But Mike, you said you're getting grading back in some youth sports. What's going on with that?
Yeah. So we got to town and I started looking for, something for him to do, right? We're getting him in school. He's going to go to school on Monday. We actually are getting the girls into like a little daycare school thing as well, trying to get everybody back into their fucking lives. And obviously one of the huge things in our lives is sports. Like that's what we do. We fucking live it. We breathe it. We talk about it for hours. here on the show. So, I mean, that's constant for us. And we were able to finally find him a team. The Painesville Little League did not have a spot for him. So we did the Menor Little League. Now, it doesn't really make a fucking difference. It is a, 7-minute drive between Painesville and Menor. These little townships are everywhere. They're small, and they all fucking touch each other. So we're going to be able to do that. He's going to be on another team. Cool little thing, and I'm excited for next year. So all of the teams here, like everybody in the Menor League, they're sponsored by somebody, right? Some sort of business. Like he's on the Gerber Collision and Auto Glass team, which, I mean, cool. Good for Gerber. I'm very excited. But I'm thinking, if we got the funds next year, Lineman Lounge is going to need to sponsor a youth team and get
just throw
these beautiful fucking faces on some shirts on the chests of these kids.
How long before we're getting on NASCAR?
I mean, that's going to be a little ways away. That's like legit sponsorship. Now, I don't know how much it costs to sponsor one of these little league teams, but if it is a reasonable amount, I want to sponsor one of these teams just because I think it would be so fucking funny to have our faces out there. It would be good for the program. Now, maybe not that youth sports program. There may be some parents who are a little frustrated or upset if they tune into the program and hear us dropping F-bombs right from the rip. But, fuck them. Yeah. So
this is real life.
Yeah, this is welcome to the real world, jackass.
Yeah. You look into different football programs out there for him yet?
Yeah. So I've been looking at the different football programs. So Painesville, I think, is going to be fine. He's going to be able to get in right there. He could probably do the Menor Youth League as well. So they have youth teams out here until they get to middle school, and then they will transition to middle school football, something they didn't have in Arizona, which is great that they're going to have middle school football. His big problem, though, is that there is a weight limit on these youth teams. They cannot be bigger than 165 pounds. Now, anybody who knows Graydon knows that he is a big boy. So he is like 4'11", 145 pounds, and he's 10.
That just max, like bump him up an age group or something? Or?
No, so the max, so at the highest age, which is 12, the max weight is 165. So he is getting ready to start that age group this year, like 10 to 12 or whatever. And the max weight, he's a growing boy. Yeah, and the max weight's 165. So he's gonna have to try to stay under 165 in pads for the next 2 years. That's gonna be very tough.
Do you only have like one weigh in?
One weigh in I think it's at the beginning of each game, not at the beginning of the year, because we'd be doing a little bit of
each game.
Yeah,
that would be annoying.
Oh, dude, I mean, so we were supposed to do that for some tournament games that we had up in Phoenix when we were in Arizona, but it didn't happen that way. It was like one way in at the very beginning. Now, if we can get one way in at the beginning of the year, that'd be fantastic because we'll be hitting them with that
magnesium citrate.
Magnesium citrate, and we'll be
carbon fiber pads.
It sounds terrible to say for a 10-year-old. I don't want to. Don't do that for your kids. That's terrible.
Yeah, this is all a joke.
I could not do that.
We're gonna not start him on the PEDs just yet. He ain't D-hop.
No. We're not doing that. But yeah, so that is going to be one of the issues out here. But I mean, I think he's going to be fine. He's one of the always one of the bigger, older kids, kind of in his age group, his grade. I think he's gonna graduate at almost 19. Because he's 2030 is his graduation, and his birthday. Actually, he might just turn it. He's either a young kid or one of the old ones, because his birthday is April. Yeah, so right in that range. But I mean, he's gonna be fine. We're excited. He's excited that we're actually fucking finally starting to do something. However, today was supposed to be opening day. They had pictures. And of course, we were rained out because that's what's happening on the entire eastern fucking seaboard is just rain on rain on rain on rain.
Yeah. Well, speaking of weigh-ins and stuff, do you want to get into our sports talk of the day?
I do. Actually just got a text from Spicy Mike, though. He says it's $300 to sponsor a team out there in Sierra Vista. So if it's only $300 to sponsor a team, we're definitely doing that. We're getting our fucking faces on some jerseys for youth baseball players.
I'm sure we can find a way to make that happen. $300 to at least get, the logo made on patches or something and throw that on a shoulder.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Something like that.
Something that we could for sure do that. And I just had a special delivery, producer Amber.
Saw that.
Came through.
Nice.
All right. We should. All right. So I got Svetka vodka sodas. I don't know what these are. So I got a mango pineapple vodka soda, a strawberry lemonade vodka soda, and a black cherry lime. So these look delicious. Oh, Jesus Christ. She's trying to get me shit-faced. These are 8%. So
just house a couple and we'll see.
Yeah, house a couple of those bad boys. And then we also got these. I've never seen these before. Crook and Marker.
That looks fancy.
So it is a spiked lemonade, and these are a 5% ABV. So we'll probably start with the 5%. We'll see how these bad boys are, and then I'm gonna definitely crack one up in one of these Svetkas and see how that is as well.
Absolutely. All right. So like Mike talked about, we don't have a ton going on in the NFL right now. There's that little bit of a hangover after the draft, which, completed while we were doing our pod last Saturday, a week ago. And you've had some, UDFA signings and stuff like that, but nothing super significant right now because the market's still shaking up. You've seen some of the drafted players already start to sign contracts, which is interesting because sometimes
it's very
players,
quick, very, very quick.
Yeah. So you'll see players going into the year holding out like drafted guys. And it's like, you know what your contract are. They're squabbling over.
They're slotted now. So
verbiage.
Just fucking sign the contract.
They're squabbling over verbiage in the contract, which, I personally
it could make a big deal, especially if you're, I don't know, in a Brown situation where you're dealing with Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. But
so, I understand it, but
when you are a rookie coming into the league, I feel like, hey, sign your contract, show you're ready to get to work.
Yeah.
Like I like that. Obviously there shouldn't be that much to squabble over when the money's pretty much already figured out.
This is fancy.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It looks fancy.
This is
sugar.
very much like a lemonade.
Zero
this
sugar.
This is basically like a lemonade with alcohol in it. And I love
how
lemonade.
How many carbs?
One carb.
1 gram?
1 gram of carbs.
All right. Well, if $20 is watching, he wants to go hunt around for some crooks and whatever.
Crooks and Marker, organic super grain alcohol. Like this is this is super bougie, like
semi-keto
diet. Yeah.
All righty. Well, yeah. So we will talk a little bit about happenings in the NFL here. I guess, we can real quick jump into it. There's not a ton to talk about.
Yeah, there's not a ton to talk about. So we'll get the NFL stuff going real quick, and then we'll go somewhere else.
Yep. So we've got kind of, I guess, maybe the biggest news that happened earlier in the week. DeAndre Hopkins, he's been suspended by the league for 6 games for PED use. He's released a statement basically saying he doesn't know why. They're checking into it, but, he apologizes for popping hot on something. It maybe the team knew about it, and that's why they made the trade to get Hollywood Brown. I don't think that's a good 1-for-1 replacement at all.
Nope.
But it definitely ain't helping out that team right now, especially, if even more of the rumors coming out about Kyler, that he's looking for like 70 mil guaranteed or something like that annually on his contract. That's like pretty ridiculous for someone.
Kyler wants that baseball money that he missed out on.
I'm not even willing to commit to calling him a top 10 quarterback at this point.
I'm not either. Actually, I was going through this the other day with Byron, the guy I was staying with. I think I've got him definitely outside the top 10. I think he might even be outside my top 15. He's like fringe right there on that like 15 mark.
For a guy that, some pundits were talking about him being an MVP candidate earlier in the year last year.
Yeah, no,
I haven't been sold on him. I didn't think that what he was doing last year was necessarily MVP worthy. Statistically, it was good. The team was winning. Obviously, they looked great. We're just going to bring a lot more of that spotlight. But I'm just not personally sold on him. I think this could be a little bit more of a flash in the pan type situation, and he's trying to make his nut real quick because he might know that too. I don't know. But either way, D-Hop going to be out for the first 6 games. I think he's trying to appeal it, but
I mean, a positive test is a positive test. You can appeal it all you want. I mean, but this is one of those things that doesn't really ever get overturned. If you did it on accident, okay, well then you fucked up, and it's still in your system. Like this is not one of those things that you can really appeal and anything happen. Professional athletes are normally really, really good about what they put in their bodies because of things like this popping up. So this is bad on a product for, something happens and then you test positive, or this was D-Hop, losing track of what he's putting in his body, or he was doing something on purpose. Now, I don't know that D-Hop is a guy that I think is a PED user. He doesn't scream height, weight, speed guy. Those are the types of guys I think that are, potentially your PED users. He's just incredibly precise with his routes and has the most fucking fantastic hands the NFL has probably ever seen because he doesn't drop anything. So I don't think that he did this on purpose.
They haven't said what it is that he popped top for, and I would assume that at his age, I mean, I believe he's like 30 now, 31, something like that, and he had the injuries last year. I would assume that it's stuff to get himself healthy. Right.
I mean, so I don't deer antler spray. Do you remember that back when Ray Lewis was doing the whole deer antler spray? I mean, I was on deer antler spray. I was like, that shit sounds awesome.
Who wasn't?
Yeah.
That velvet.
Oh yeah. I don't know if that's one of those things that you test for. But I mean, there is all sorts of things out there for recovery. Now, obviously you got your big time ones like your HGH and things like that. But I mean, without knowing what he tested positive for, we can't say definitively if, this was on purpose. I mean, if it comes out that he was on Adderall or Ritalin or something like that, that's definitely a performance enhancer. That's everybody fucking knows that you can't do that. But if it's something, something small or trace amounts from some sort of supplement, and that shit happens all the time. I mean, I remember being, when we were in the Army, was it C4 that they made us stop taking because everybody was pissing hot for it? And then Jack 3D, we couldn't take anymore.
Jack 3D was the one that I know specifically, which I still partook in heavily, but that was the one that was like barely not meth, apparently.
Yeah. So Jack 3D was essentially ephedra in powder form that was still remotely legal, and then they had to completely change the formula, and now Jack 3D sucks because it's not smack straight into your fucking mouth.
And that stuff was dope. I mean, that shit worked.
Yeah. So, I mean, something like that, I get. Hopefully, just serve your suspension, come back, ball out. Everybody knows that he's one of the best receivers in the league. But we were talking about this kind of in our group chat. Did the Cardinals know that this was coming and they made the move to try to get Hollywood Brown, or did they think that they were going to add some speed, deep, some deep threats around D-Hop to really open up the passing game, and now they're completely fucked because this team is not looking like they're in a good way right now. I don't like the way Kyler is acting. I am not a huge fan of what they did in the draft. Giving up a first rounder for Hollywood Brown is just completely asinine in my opinion. I got love for a lot of Cardinals fans, and they're probably not fucking happy right now because this doesn't make any sense to me.
I've heard a lot more of the apologist nature of the situation so far, like trying to be like, well, I can see how this makes sense. It's like, but like overall economically, it just doesn't really make sense. I would have much rather, if instead of trading that pick, just draft a receiver because you're probably getting at least the same production with some upside. But
yeah, I could actually. There's probably 3 or 4 receivers in this draft that are better than Hollywood Brown, or that project to be better than Hollywood Brown. I mean, because obviously it's the draft. We don't know anything about these guys yet, and it's going to come on a cheaper contract because Hollywood's about to be up for a deal.
Yeah, I think they already got something worked out.
Yeah, so it's I don't understand it. The economics don't make sense. The scheme fit doesn't make sense to me unless you have D-Hop to kind of carve out places underneath. So I don't get it.
They might just be running like 3 tight end sets with him out there or something because they went out and drafted a tight end as well. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, they're trying to get Kyler weapons. Kyler's throwing a fucking tantrum again. Yeah, the Cardinals are not in a good spot, but man, it sucks for D-Hop. If it's his fault, if he did it on purpose, then I have no remorse for him. You know better, but at the same time, I mean, I also don't have a huge problem with steroids. Like, if you want to take them, fucking take them, especially in baseball. But
anything to help out that game a little bit. But so other stuff that happened around the NFL, we ended up seeing the Saints being able to sign Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger. So he's got a new landing spot. I think he is a little bit longer in the tooth now. I think his name gets him by a little bit more, but regardless, it's a decent signing for the Saints. And then I guess, I mean, other than that, I mean, a warrant was issued for Earl Thomas today. An arrest warrant for violating a protective order, which is not good for him, but I'm sure that will kind of not necessarily get swept.
Put an end to his potential comeback, I think.
Yeah. Unless, I mean, if someone really wants him, it'll get swept under the rug. I mean, that's probably how that'll end up going, to be honest. But other than that, focusing more, I guess, on Seahawks news, Pete Carroll said that they don't envision the Seahawks trading for a veteran quarterback, so that kind of ties into the Baker Mayfield watch. I believe it was they weren't going to trade for a veteran quarterback, but that they were not opposed to signing a veteran quarterback.
Yeah, so that leaves the door open for Cap to potentially still get an opportunity somewhere in the NFL. I don't know what the fuck we're doing with Baker. We're playing the waiting game now. We're waiting for somebody to get hurt, or for the Panthers to be like, fine, we cannot fucking go into the season with Sam Darnold as our starting quarterback. Like, those are the only 2 options right now. We're waiting for an injury, or the Panthers to be like, yeah, we can't do this again. Our fans are going to fucking turn on us because they already saw what happened. Sam tricked everybody for about 3 weeks at the start of the season thinking, oh man, maybe Sam's got it. And then he went right back to fucking being Sam Darnold again.
Yep. And I mean, they did make some good draft moves. Like we said, they made good long-term draft moves, but it's not good for Matt Rule right here in the short term. So it's just, does the GM think that he's going to be able to keep his job if Matt Rule loses his job? If the GM thinks he's going to be able to keep his job, then they might not make a move for Baker because, the GM feels safe. Whereas if the GM's like, well, maybe we're both on the hot seat, we need to make moves, might as well take a shot at Baker and see what we can do. But it's still surprising that they didn't go after, one of the rookie quarterbacks, I suppose, higher up.
They got a Sam Howell, right? And like the 4th.
Yeah. It's just,
Jesus.
you would think earlier, but then again, listening to Sirius NFL radio, they're talking about, they've had some scouts calling in and talking to them, on like day 3, and the scouts remained anonymous, but they're saying like it seems like people really stuck to their boards this year, and that these scouts are talking like we didn't have any of the quarterbacks rated above the 3rd round. So I mean, that means teams are sticking to their boards, and we'll see if we actually do get any of these prospects to become average starters in the league. Because I mean, let's be real, NFL scouting departments, they've got, years of experience and a lot more knowledge on the situation than we do as, fans, and pundits who create mock drafts and stuff like that. So if these guys are saying, obviously they're going to miss on some guys where they don't take them where they should be. You see Russell Wilson's and Tom Brady's. That's going to happen all the time. But more often than not, they're generally right.
Yeah.
So,
and especially with the quarterback position, like if teams aren't going up to get you, there's a reason why. Now, some of the skill position players, you never know how they're going to translate if they're confident in their abilities at the next level. Quarterback is a little bit easier because here's the thing. Most quarterbacks don't pan out in the NFL. Like, it's not a super common thing to become a starting quarterback in the NFL and be very good and have a franchise quarterback. That's why quarterbacks get elevated every single year, is because there aren't those guys. They're not plentiful. So most guys don't fucking pan out. And if you, as a scout and as a GM, understand that, and you don't have and you're like, man, I'm not really sold on any of these guys, don't fucking do it. Like, just stick to your board. Teams did a really good job of that. I think Sam Howell actually may be better than Sam Darnold is right now. And he's never thrown a pass in the NFL.
At least Sam Howell provides you a little excitement because you don't know what you got.
You don't know what you got yet. But I mean, Sam Howell he's going to be a fucking career backup if he makes it that long. I mean,
I would think so.
None of these guys are super exciting. And some other guys that are not very excited about these rookies, fucking Ryan Tannehill. He is not excited about having Malik Willis in the building and potentially competing for his job. He is not his mentor, and he is not going to fucking do it. That's one little thing that I thought was interesting little tidbit that
I'm
came
sure
out.
A lot of veteran quarterbers feel that way when a replacement or potential replacement is brought in.
And it's not even quarterback, any position.
You just don't bring it up.
Yeah. Tannehill said the quiet part out loud. And you can't do that. Like, and he's getting buried by everybody in the league because everybody in the league is supposed to be like, oh yeah, I'm just here to win and play football. And
he just before that had opened up about his issues with mental health stuff, I believe.
Yeah.
Which great on him for being willing to be open about that and everything, but you kind of ruined it. Like, you kind of stepped on your crank.
Yeah, you look like a prick now.
Yeah.
Like it. Yeah. I mean, and not that he's searching for sympathy by any means by talking about his mental health. That is not a sympathy.
He could have been, though. like at this point, like, it makes people question. I don't want to question that. I'd rather just be supportive. But now it's like it's going to bring those questions into play, unfortunately.
It's not a good look. Malik is boom or bust. We've talked about it to death with this draft class. I think he could potentially take Tannehill's job next year, not this year. I don't think this year's there's no fucking way because he's so raw as a quarterback. And, Tannehill just led the Titans to the number 1 seed in the AFC. So it's just, I don't see him just unseating him like that.
It could have been in spite of Tannehill, though, that they got there. Because, I mean, they had a pretty solid roster. So I don't know about you. I'm pretty sure we're both not Tannehill fans necessarily. No. I don't think he's the answer there. I think he's been something that's holding the team back.
I don't think they went in spite of him. I think that he's tagging along. He is a part of the group project, but he is not the leader of the group project.
Yeah.
Very much like what we were talking about with Jimmy G and what Mina Kimes got buried for by saying that about Jimmy G. He's a part of the group, but he is not leading the group. He is. Yeah. We could get the same fucking grade without him.
Mm-hmm. And that's.
But I won't say that they're winning in spite of him.
I think Malik Willis could provide them. Malik could provide them that boom or bust upside where.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know, but so I'll be honest. I started looking ahead already towards 2023 draft and the quarterbacks going in there because this one was just a little bit less fun.
Because you're going to be fucking looking for one.
I hope we do, but I mean, this draft, it's usually more exciting with quarterback prospects in general, whether or not you need one. And I mean, I've got at least 5 guys, but I'm already looking at like 8 guys that are probably going to be drafted fairly high. Obviously way too
Obviously,
early.
We don't know who's going to come out,
but right now, you got CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Tyler Van Dyke from Miami, Will Levis from Kentucky, Phil Yurkovich from Boston College, big dude. Grayson McCall, Coastal Carolina.
Yeah,
Anthony Richardson from Florida. Spencer Rattler, if that situation ends up working out with the Gamecocks, you've got all sorts of names that are names.
Spencer Rattler has taken such a fucking massive drop down the boards after last year.
If he balls out this year, he's going to be right back up there.
I mean, yeah, if he comes out and balls out again, he's going to be right back up there.
Either way,
because he hits every fucking measurable you could possibly want for a quarterback.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So that's a lot of names.
Yeah,
and, we're talking about next year already.
That 3 of those guys are not coming out. 3 of those guys are not coming out because that's just kind of the way it always fucking goes. You can't have 8 potential number 1 8 first round quarterbacks come out in the same year. Somebody's going to be like, you know what? I'm going to stay 1 more year and I'm going to be the first quarterback off the board next year. It always happens because people are trying to maximize their dollars.
I don't know. I think that as the NFL contracts are changing and agents are getting more wise to these cap increases and stuff like that, it is almost smarter for your guy to, like, if you get the number one overall pick, that's big. Obviously, it's big for your ego. It's big for your brand, all that. But some of these guys are like, I don't want to go number 2 overall or number 3 overall to the Jets because it's the Jets. Right. So it's like if I'm the 5th quarterback taken in this class and I'm going to a good situation.
So I like where your head's at. I do like where your head's at.
On a 4-year deal instead of being a first rounder and a 5th-year option or something like that, then that means I get to go make my nut quicker. So if they're able to do that, like from a financial standpoint, it almost makes more sense to not go in the first round if you truly believe in yourself. So
right. So I get what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down, but these guys don't have to leave college to make money and to worry about all of that anymore.
That's true with the
NIL deals are going fucking ape shit right now. They are going through the roof. Congress is finally getting involved. They're like, okay, we got to rein in what the fuck is happening because there was no oversight.
They're like, how do we get a little piece of this pie? We want extra taxes.
Correct. That is exactly what's happening. What they're saying is not that. What they're saying is we got to rein this in, but they're trying to figure out how to get a piece of the pie.
Someone's getting money and it's not us. That's wrong. That's not America.
Yeah. So these kids don't have to come out to make their money anymore. Like there are guys who, like Quinn Ewers, eventually is going to make money because he's eventually going to see the field. He probably went down to Texas and he's going to be the best kid on that Texas team. Who massive powerhouse program, didn't have a single fucking player from that program drafted. Wanted to bring that up because I played with a couple guys who are massive UT fans in college, and they're dog shit. I might actually have Amber clip this so I can send it to Stan. Stan, love you like a brother, man. But your boys fucking suck, and they've sucked for a long time, and I love it. Fucking horns down, baby. But it's wild the things that can happen for these kids in college. They don't have to come out. I do like where your head's at, where, you know what, if I go at the back half of the first round, or, you know, maybe I'm going day 2, late round 2, you get into a really, really good fucking situation.
That's like, if I'm an NFL quarterback prospect, I'm wanting to not go in the top end of the first round because I don't care about being the first overall pick. I'm like, send me to a good situation, or send me day 2 where I can then make my second contract come quicker. Yeah.
If you truly believe in yourself, or you are, even if you're like, man, I'm not sure, like I could stay, I could go. If you could be the 3rd, 4th quarterback drafted in the first round, now the pressure is not on you like it is on some of those other guys. You're going to a much better situation. And if you really want to go to the NFL and win fucking games, that's the teams you go to win fucking games with.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why Mahomes and stuff like that, like you see some of these guys go a little bit later and they end up being in much better situations. Ooh.
There is a
sourpuss face.
There is a sharp aftertaste to these. I'll try another one here in a second, but this strawberry lemonade, man, it
doesn't have those organic,
very much artificially
grains
sweetened
or whatever.
No, this is not made with 4% juice from concentrate. Real vodka, real juice, and some natural flavors. That's what's on the can. Vodka with juice, natural flavors, and sparkling water. Okay, so that's why there's it's a very angry water. And then it hits you with a fucking sharp bite there at the end.
Yeah. All right. But so we actually talked about the NFL way more than I thought we were going to because we didn't have a whole bunch to go over today, but we can kick into some of the other stuff now.
Well, man, when we get rolling on the NFL, we could talk for fucking hours. So let's hop off of that. There's no other big stories. Jerry's fine. He's going to be putting massive amounts of salt on whatever he eats next.
Yeah, a little minor car crash.
Yeah, he's good.
All right, what do you want to jump into next, Mike?
So let's talk about UFC because that's a massive thing going on tonight. I'm super pumped for it, and I mean, seeing as how we were just talking about Jerry having tons of salt. Salt makes you absorb a lot of water, makes you retain some weight, and there is a massive controversy weight situation going on for tonight's UFC 274 Oliveira Gaichi. Oliveira missed weight. Now, this is not the first time he has defended this title. Okay, so he knows how to make weight for this title fight. He's fought it. This will be his third time fighting for a title. The time he won it, the time he defended it, and now this is going to be his second defense. Only problem is he's not going to be defending it. He is definitely going to lose his title tonight. Whether he wins or loses, he is losing his title tonight because of the weight situation. He is a half pound over the championship max. So you can be plus or minus a pound for a championship fight. For any other fight, you can be plus or minus a pound and a half. So if this is a non-championship fight, he makes weight. But this is a championship fight. He does not make weight. And it's a fucking crazy situation. Apparently there were some issues potentially with the scale. Everybody was weighing a half pound more than they were expecting to weigh. And they're still using the old school fucking slider bar scale. I'm pretty sure the fight is being fought in Nevada, right? I think this is a Vegas fight.
Phoenix.
Footprint
Center in Phoenix.
Oh, wow. All right, so I was going to say that the Nevada Gaming Commission is still using that old, but apparently this is Arizona's Gaming Commission and Fight Commission is still using that old school scale. People were calling for digital scales to be implemented. Now, I don't know how accurate you can get a digital scale, but crazy situation going on with that fight. Before we get into like do you want to break down the fights, the main card, and then we'll talk about that fight specifically? I just wanted to preface, like, there is crazy storylines coming out of this thing already.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'll be completely honest. I knew there was a UFC fight tonight, but until I pulled up the card here, I didn't know who was on it at all. And it's actually a damn good fight.
That's super good card.
If I was going to be home tonight, which I'm not going to be, so I'm not going to be able to see this, right. I absolutely would 100% pay for this fight.
100% pay for the fight.
Yes, like I always do.
We always pay for the fights.
We always pay for them.
Always pay for the fights. We love you, Dave.
Yeah. But so starting off on that main card, you got Cowboy Cerrone going up against Joe Lauzon.
Yeah, Joe Lauzon has been not fought in so long, I feel like.
I have no idea when his last fight was. I just know, last time I remember seeing Cerrone, he looked his age. But that's a guy that, will take any fight. Cerrone's favorite to win this one.
Oh, my God. So I just looked it up. He has not fought since 2019. That is a long fucking break in between fights.
He'll be rested.
Yeah. He's going to be very, very rested. And Cowboy has not had good performances in his last few goes. So that'll be very interesting as well.
He's starting to look his age, man. And he's a badass that takes any fight.
Yeah, he will take any fight, man. I love Cowboy. He is super fun to watch. I mean, but he's got no decision, I want to say, or no contest. He's got a loss by decision, a TKO lost to Conor McGregor. Like he has got a loss to Gaichi, a loss to Ferguson. He finally has a win in there against Al Iaquinta. That's the last time he won, was 2019. Now, don't get me wrong. This is a guy that Dana loves. He will continue to book fights unless it looks like he just can't do it anymore. Like Tyron Woodley needed to retire, and Dana basically told him as much as like, you're done. You're not fighting here anymore because it's bad for your health, and I don't want to see you get killed. Cowboy is teetering that line very much right now because he's still competitive-ish in his fights.
That's if he loses this one, I think that's probably got to be it for UFC.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he goes PFL or Bellator after this, but he cannot keep signing fights and losing unless Dana has somehow switched course and is using him as a tune-up for other fighters. I don't see Dana being that guy. He actually, regardless of how little he pays these guys, he does care about them. He should pay them more, but he does care about the guys. That's why he won't re-sign guys who are just well past their prime, who are going out there getting killed.
Yeah. So the next fight on the card here, we got Mauricio Shogun Rua making an appearance, going against St. Preux. I don't know if I said that correct. St.
Preux.
Yeah. So that'll be a fun one. Shogun's actually not favored in this one.
No. So Shogun is another guy well past his prime.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember watching Shogun.
Big name.
Oh, yeah. Well, I remember watching Shogun when I was younger. It's just fucking maul people. And it's super, super exciting. Ovince St. Preux is he's not young by any means. I mean, he's got so many fights. He's 25-16. He's 39 years old. The guy's been fighting a long, long fucking time. And I mean, he hasn't really won a whole bunch either. This feels like a weird big name reclamation project type UFC, which honestly I'm good with. Like, pump the nostalgia straight into my veins. Like, cause I'm super excited to watch this fight. It's gonna be late as fuck here when this thing kicks off at 10 o'clock. But I'm gonna try to stay up and watch this thing because I know these names, I know these guys. I'm kind of excited to see what they still got.
Yep. Next up, we got Michael Chandler and Tony Ferguson fighting. So this will be an interesting one. Chandler's favored in this one. And actually, I jumped on the Caesar Sportsbook. Haven't been on in a while because the football season's been over. But I started making bets at this point. I got Chandler to win this one. I think that he's been.
I wish I could bet.
He's been outpacing some of his more recent fights, but I like him. I think that
he's incredibly exciting. So this is a guy that I worried that was going to come into the UFC, kind of like some guys before him who came from those smaller type venues, and they had a big name coming over, right? Very quickly get a title shot. Like we don't know who this guy is really in the UFC. He's not fighting against the best guys in the world. And I was worried that, this guy's going to get taken down and he's going to lose a couple fights, and then we're never going to fucking hear from this guy again. He's going to be a flash in the pan. Well, he hasn't really won a whole lot in the UFC, but Jesus, tap dancing.
His matches
Christ.
have been fucking
every single fight this guy is in is exciting as shit, so I am here for it. Like, I will watch him no matter what. It's exciting no matter what. Like,
when I'm
Ferguson
watching him,
is no joke either.
Yeah, that's true. When I'm watching Chandler fight, it's he could have won any of those fights, and
that
they're
fight with
so
Gaichi.
close. Yeah, it's that the Chandler Gaichi fight was fucking nuts. It was absolutely
insane.
Nuts. The thing with Chandler is that, like, obviously he's going to come in with a lot of fire and tenacity to all these fights because he wants to prove himself, prove that he's supposed to be at the UFC. And the fact that he hasn't yet, I feel like he's probably feeling
starting to weigh on him a little bit.
This
probably.
is make or break, and now you're backing a dog into a corner, and he's like he might come out crazier than we fucking have seen him before. And I thought
since he's got to the UFC, he has fought nothing but top level competition. He did not have a fucking introduce you to the UFC type fight. He went right up against fucking top tier talent, like instantly. So, I mean, I applaud him for that. He's fighting the best guys in the world. He looks like he is one of the best guys in the world. He just hasn't come through really in the UFC yet. But yeah, he's incredibly exciting to watch. I'm pumped to see this guy fight again.
Yep. And then in our next fight, we get to see basically the fighter with possibly the heaviest, meatiest dick in all of the UFC. My girl, Rose Namajunas.
Hell yeah.
Going up against Carla Esparza. Yeah, I love Rose.
Fucking love her, man.
Super excited for that. So, of course, I got to put money on my girl, Rose. Baddest bitch in the game. She's going against Carla Esparza. And look, I mean, she's favoring this one. I ain't betting.
She's probably heavily favored, right?
Not as much as Chandler is against Tony Ferguson. She's
really?
minus 220 right now, and Chandler's actually minus 360. He's the biggest disparity in this main card.
Oh man, that scares me though for Chandler. It makes me want to. If I could bet, I mean, I could drive an hour to the border and fucking cross over into Pittsburgh or into Pennsylvania real quick to place a couple bets. Man, that minus 360 is a massive fucking line for that Tony Ferguson Chandler fight. But I mean, I'm betting Rose minus 220.
Yep.
I was expecting a way bigger line there. I love Rose. Rose is one of the baddest fucking women on the planet. I wish Rose and the Lioness were closer in weight because that's the fight I want to see. I don't want to watch. I mean, don't get me wrong. Zhang Weili is a very exciting fighter, but Rose is better. I mean, and she's proven it. I want to see the Lioness. Obviously, she's got to come back and win her title back.
And I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure that this might be a title fight as well because I believe that
this is a title fight. This is for sure a title fight. Rose is the strawweight champion. But man, strawweight, there's not a ton of girls other than Zhang Weili to take on Rose. Like, don't get me wrong, Carla Esparza is a good fighter. But I don't see Rose having too many problems here. The only reason, I mean, the reason that she lost her title last time is she went up against a woman who was physically bigger, who should probably be fighting up against, Shevchenko's weight class. And she fucking power bombed her, like WWE style, power bombed her ass and knocked her the fuck out. Rose, I wish was bigger because I would love to see a Shevchenko Rose fight or a fucking Rose and Amanda Nunes fight. Those would be insane fights to have. We see the guys, make these huge weight jumps. They can go and fight in 3 different fucking weight classes. I just don't think it's possible for the women to really do that. Amanda Nunes is insane for being able to go into both.
Yeah, if it physiologically just packing on weight, it's different.
It doesn't work the same for them.
Men to women, yeah. They can, it's just a pure muscle mass thing. Like obviously women can put on muscle mass, but guys, they're physiologically built to put on way more muscle mass in general. So it's more difficult to go with those weight class jumps for the women. So
yeah,
but either way,
a guy who can't fight at a lower weight class, he just adds 10 pounds. And he goes up a weight class and it's like, okay, maybe I'm stronger here. Maybe I wasn't quick enough down there, but it doesn't work the same for the ladies. But man, I would love to see that. I'm excited for this because fucking Thug Rose coming. Man, minus 220 is good money on that fight.
Yeah, every time I get to see her fight, I love to watch it. I'm disappointed I'm probably not going to be seeing it tonight because I'll be out.
So she is easily, in my opinion, the best. I mean, the most attractive looking bald chick on the planet. I love her. Like,
She looks great with hair too, but
oh, she looks great with hair. She looks great without the hair. I just, if we can get her in G.I. Jane 2 instead of Will Smith's dumbass wife, that'd be super cool.
Can we get Rose casted in Aquaman?
Ooh, has she shit on somebody's pillow recently? I think that's a prerequisite, right?
I don't know. Apparently, I mean, maybe the old Amber Alert might cause Amber Heard to not be in that movie anymore because there's strong petitions even from other cast members to not have her in there.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, she sucks.
Yeah.
By the way, so Amber Heard does suck, but the balls on this woman are fucking just outrageous. I don't know if you've seen the video, like
of her possibly snorting a little coke.
Okay, thank you. So we have seen this video.
Yeah.
Look, I don't do drugs anymore because I haven't been able to do them in a very, very long time. Okay. But I have seen people do drugs. I have seen people do lines of coke. I have never seen something that looked so similar to snorting a line of coke in my life as what happened in that courtroom.
Yep.
But maybe she was gushing out of one side and decided to sniff instead of blow.
I don't know, but current events and pop culture aside, we got right after that Rose Namajunas fight, we got the main card.
Yes,
already brought that up. Charles Oliveira and Justin Gaichi, and I put my money on Gaichi on this one, and he's the underdog here, plus 125.
So the line was actually way shifted, I believe. The line was like plus 180-ish for Gaichi until the weight cut miss. I think Gaichi can win this fight. I think he could have won this fight before. So Oliveira is not a bad guy. Like, he's very humble. And I think he actually kind of really feels like shit for missing weight. Some guys don't give a fuck about missing weight, right? Like, especially if you're not fighting for a title. Oh no, I'm over. Well, it's either we can fight or you can not fight, and then you won't get paid. I won't get paid. But you know what I didn't have to do is go through a miserable fucking weight cut and train as what we just, God, what was that fucking Brazilian kid's name who was drinking too much wine and then missed weight? God, I cannot remember. I cannot remember his name. We talked about it, but missed weight by like fucking 10 pounds. Like, it was way over. But if nobody fights, nobody gets paid, right? The guy who didn't cut weight is less concerned with not getting paid because he didn't go through the same miserable shit in a training camp as the other guy did to train and cut weight. So I believe that Oliveira thought he was in weight. I think he tried to make weight. Like, this is not
when
that
you're
guy.
within a half pound, it's not.
Yeah.
It's different if you're several pounds off, but he's within a half pound. He was trying to make that weight.
Yeah, and I think he was trying to make the weight even in that 1 hour. I don't know what the rules are once you miss weight that first time, because they have 1 hour from the time they first weigh in to get back on the scale and be under. So I don't know what the rules are and where he can go, what he can do, things like that. But I mean, it sucks. Oliveira was, he's a really good fighter. He's been a pretty decent champ for his short reign. He has been very gracious. Like, his last fight, not against Gaichi. Who was it? The guy who looks like Gaichi but dirtier. God damn it! I'm gonna look it up real quick. Dustin Poirier.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So it fucks me. So Amber's like, "Is that Justin Gaichi?" He's like, "No, that's not Gaichi. That's Poirier." She's like, "They look the same. One has darker hair, one has lighter hair." And I didn't think that was true until I kind of I was like, maybe a little bit. But yeah, so he made weight there, was very gracious, said really nice things about Poirier. Like, he's been a good champ. And this sucks. So I think that Oliveira is going to win this fight. I really do.
All things aside, like, this is still going to be an awesome fight.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic.
We can't just see a straight up regular championship title fight here. Where
the controversy here is going to suck. It's going to take away from. It's going to take away from what this should be, what should be an amazing fight that everybody's super excited about. But things are the way they are. I think Oliveira will still win this. I think Oliveira is going to give Gaichi problems, especially if he gets him down. Like, it's going to be interesting. If this stays on the feet the entire time, Gaichi has a really, really good chance to win this fight. I just don't know if that's going to happen that way.
Yeah, Gaichi doesn't have much of a takedown game, so it's especially compared to Oliveira. So
and if Oliveira gets behind him at all, like if Oliveira can get a clinch, get his back, it's fucking game over. If Oliveira gets your back, you're done. He's going to do something that you are just not going to get out of. He will sit there for minutes, 2, 3, 4 minutes, especially if he gets you down early, and just work you. And eventually he's going to get a neck. He's going to get an arm. He's going to get something. And don't get me wrong, he can absolutely just maul you on the ground. He's also pretty goddamn good with the stand-up. I think Gaichi's a little bit better, but Oliveira has a little bit more tools in his tool bag than Gaichi does. It just sucks that it's going to go down this way.
Yeah.
All right.
But excellent card tonight. If you are looking for something to do tonight, by all means, go out and
absolutely 100% pay for the fight.
Yep. Or go to a bar or something like that. That's going to be showing the fights. But other than that, we got we're going to talk MLB, basketball, and hockey today. So which one do you want to start off with? Where do you
want to go next? Because I know that hockey is kind of your thing. You want to go baseball?
Yeah. So it's the beginning of the season, but it's been an interesting beginning. Yeah. Not necessarily so much because, baseball is a marathon of games. But what I keep on seeing pop up is all this stuff about officiating. These umpires acting a little out of pocket.
Yeah, so it's been wild. The things that have happened inside Major League Baseball this early in the season. Like, we're past a month, we're a month in ish. I guess we're actually about a month today, considering the late start to baseball. And the big storyline of the season so far has been the umpires fucking suck, and so do the baseballs. We can just start with the first one. So I want to say it was the Mets. They had a guy on the mound and throws strike 3. Like, no doubt, like, everybody's walking off the field. Even the fucking batter is getting ready to walk away. Umpire misses the call. Okay, so that's frustrating, right? Now, I would take a human umpire over the digital umpire any fucking day, because I've seen some of the strike and ball calls that the AAA is using for because they're trying out the digital umpire, and they're fucking terrible. Like, pitches that are very clearly not fucking strikes. So they're going to miss calls. I get that, right? So we get an umpire that misses a call. Everybody's walking off. Finally, he gets out of the inning after he walks the guy. The game goes on, and as, sides are switching, pitcher's walking in, gives him one of those, hey, you know what? My bad. I fucked that up. I missed that. That's not a normal thing, right? That's absolutely not a normal thing in Major League Baseball. Umpires are for sure right all the goddamn time, especially if you're Angel Hernandez, who was the worst umpire that has ever fucking game.
That's the name I was going to bring up, because Angel Hernandez, I know, has been under a lot of heat. And that's who I've been seeing getting the most, because these umpires do get graded by the MLB. and
they do.
And he's got an atrocious rate of missed calls.
Yeah. So Angel Hernandez is always one of the worst rated umpires. I'm going to pull up a little clip here. If I can fucking find it, of Angel Hernandez.
Yeah, Angel Hernandez just had that issue, third strike call that sent Kyle Schwarber from the Phillies.
Oh yeah, so he ran him,
made him lose it.
So I was gonna go with the good portion of the umpire first. So says, you know what, I fucked up, my bad. Okay, pitcher coming off says, you know what, my bad for showing you up, because I was walking off the field with my fucking team because that was strike 3 and you fucked this up. That's a good interaction, right? Like, you know what, my bad, I missed it. I can't change it. The call is the fucking call. Now go about your business, do your work, and get the next fucking guy out. Right? Because they'll never change the call. And honestly, you can't change the call if you're an umpire. You shouldn't change the call. If you fucking, even when as a little league coach, listen, make the fucking call and then stick to the call.
Yep.
I don't care if it's the wrong call. I'll talk to you in the middle of the inning about how you fucked that call up. But make the call and stick with it. Because we had guys in Little League in Sierra Vista going, ball strike. I was like, fucking pick one. Like, pick a call and stick with it, right? That way my kids know. You
can't have them be flip-flopping.
Yeah.
Because
that way the kids know, the players know, everybody knows what the fucking call is, right? So these guys had a little communication. Everything's good. All right. That's good baseball, right? That's understanding I fucked up. We're good. And then we get guys like Angel Hernandez who gets into this fucking confrontation with Schwarber. And Angel Hernandez is terrible. He is so fucking bad at calling games that, like, everybody knows that he's bad at calling games. Like, it's not a surprise. So I'm going to play a little clip for everybody here. And it's hilarious because not only do I don't know if I can actually get the sound that comes through this. We'll find out here in a second. No, that's not the one I want. I don't want the breakdown. I just want... Actually, that might be the only one I can get. Did you hear any of the sound, Evo?
Nope.
Okay. Let me switch this bad boy up. Officially back. Could you hear it now?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to the screen share here in just a second. There we go. This is the one I want. Share screen. Sync system audio, I think. There we go. I can actually select a tab. All right. So can you see what I'm playing?
Yep.
All right. So this is a live broadcast on Fox Sports. Okay. And I believe the audio should just come straight through.
And the 1-1. Angel Hernandez is in midseason form.
Yeah. Let's not make this game too fast, Angel.
So did everybody pick that up, right? Everybody heard what happened there? Okay, so this is not uncommon. This is fucking early. This is spring training baseball that this happens. Angel Hernandez is dog shit. Everybody knows it. The announcers know it. They call it out. And then he gets into this thing with Schwarber where he clearly misses a call and this is what happens. So that's bad baseball. And then it doesn't get better. It gets worse from there when we're talking about the whole Madison Bumgarner thing. So Dan Bellino, Jesus Christ, I'm getting blown up now. Dan Bellino is an umpire, Major League Baseball. There's some sort of exchange that happens between home plate umpire and Bumgarner, and then Bumgarner's walking off the field. He's got to get checked for the sticky stuff, right? Because we don't want pitchers to cheat and have the sticky stuff. And then this guy's just fucking staring him down, looking to start a fight. And what happens? Well, starts to fucking fight because Bumgarner is one of those guys. He's fucking crazy and is going to absolutely lose his shit, and would, given the opportunity, would have punched that guy in the fucking mouth. His teammates had to restrain him. So Major League Baseball has been very wild to start the year. And
I pulled up some Angel Hernandez stats or whatever, and just in that game with Max Schwarber, or with Schwarber, Kyle Schwarber, that when he got ejected, so league average on calling strikes to balls correct, or at least calling strikes correct, is 88%, which you'd like to do better than that. He was 77% on that night, which is considerably lower.
Way
11 of his 48 called strikes were not strikes. They were outside of the zone. Humans definitely aren't perfect, but if you choose your craft, you're a professional, you probably should be getting these things right. And like you said, with Angel Hernandez in particular, it's been an issue for most of his career. I was able to pull up stuff from back to like 1999 going into how much of an issue he is, which is, it's like if you have that overall mindset around a particular official, you'd think the MLB would be like, hey, maybe we're just not going to use you in the majors, something like that. But I don't know. I digress. I guess that's why I'm not the commissioner.
Well, if you were the commissioner, the league would be run better because it's run by an absolute fucking buffoon and Rob Manfred. And he doesn't give a shit about this stuff. Like, this has just become a part of baseball. This is something we have to fucking deal with because nothing ever gets changed and it doesn't get fixed. I'm fucking shaking my goddamn monitor. I'm so frustrated. Every time we talk about this guy, I get fucking frustrated. The umpires are bad. The balls are worse because there's no consistency in the baseballs. Guys are getting hit in the fucking head, and then guys are throwing absolute darts. They're in humidors. They're not in humidors. Everything's supposed to be consistent, and they're not. They went from balls that were absolutely fucking – they didn't have to juice the players because they juiced the balls. Now they've pulled back on that, and they cannot fucking get it right. They cannot get it consistent. It's just – it's not good for baseball, man. It's been a weird start to the year. I'm just happy that we are seeing some things that baseball fans have longed for. Mike Trout right now, like he always is at the beginning of the year, is healthy. He's playing really good fucking baseball. He looks like the best player in the world, which is what he is. Shohei has looked pretty good. I mean, he hasn't looked like the guy that we saw last year. He's not the MVP right now, but there's still time to heat that up. Vlad Guerrero had a 3 home run game already. Like, we're seeing really good things in baseball. We're seeing really cool fucking things in baseball. But there's always these goddamn controversies in baseball that we just cannot get rid of because everybody wants to be a star in a league where there is no stars. And we're not talking about any of the players. We're talking about managers. We're talking about umpires. Like, the stars of this league should be the players, and then everybody else is fucking being... that's the names that we hear.
Yeah.
Instead of the Trouts, the Otanis, the Vlad Guerreros. That, like, those are the guys that we should be hearing about.
Yeah, absolutely. But like I said, it's we're maybe a month in here. My Minnesota Twinkies are top of the Centrals, so good to go there for now.
Spicy Mike has hit me up again.
Mhm.
I don't know. Did you get the text?
Yeah.
He brings up a good point. I wish you would have tossed it in the comments so we could have brought it up on and showed it to everybody. But he is saying that that extra strain in the last hour, trying to lose that extra pound or half pound for Oliveira is potentially going to cause a problem tonight. And he's not going to be able to fight at his best because he was trying to lose that half pound for that hour.
Yeah, that extra strain actually is pretty significant, and it definitely could make a big difference. If Oliveira was struggling fighting to lose that extra half pound, I mean, if you're a bigger guy and you've been eating full meals and drinking normal and you need to lose a half pound, it's doable. You can go take a laxative, shit yourself, spit constantly, and you'll probably end up losing a half pound. But for these guys that have already gone through the ringer in order to make weight and now they're trying anything they can, it is exhausting. Like, these guys are wrecked afterwards. So all that extra work, it definitely can play a factor. And that's probably why you've seen, those margins as far as betting come a lot closer.
Yeah. I mean, so I've done 2 sports in my life where I had to make weight. Wrestling and pole vault. Wrestling.
You did pole vaulting?
I did. I was a pole vaulter.
Oh, boy.
I was not super good at it.
I knew you worked the pole, but not like that.
Oh, I worked that big pole, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I have to because I don't have one of my own, so I have to work somebody else's. Yeah, so I had to. Yeah, man. I mean, we're just rocking hardcore average. So wrestling was easier because I was younger. So when I had to make weight, it was very, very simple. When I was pole vaulting, it was in high school. It was much harder to lose the weight as I got older and bigger, and I was on the water and dinner diet.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't starve to death, but I would make weight. And I remember, showing up to a fucking track meet. I'm like, God damn it, I'm 0.7 fucking pounds over. Well, I've been watching what I eat, so I got to go shit. I got to go piss. Go run around the track fucking 3 or 4 times in my full goddamn warm-up suit. So I can lose some goddamn weight before I got to go pole vault. And it does take it out of you. Now, that's not why I wasn't great. But now when I say I wasn't great, I was nowhere near the top level competition against that I was going with. I did place at state 8th, the last place at state to score points. I only went 13.7 was the highest I ever pole vaulted, which is not that high. But cutting weight sucks. I wanted to eat. I wanted to drink. I wanted to drink a lot of water. Yeah. Only water is what I drank in high school. But yeah, it was fucking awful. So this absolutely could have played a factor for Oliveira tonight. I don't know. I still think I think he's still better than Gaichi. I like Gaichi. I still think he's better than Gaichi. But this could play a big factor.
It's gonna make a difference.
Listen, if you can take if you can get the plus money on Gaichi, that's where the smart money is. We haven't talked bets in a long time, but I mean, any plus money on Gaichi is fucking fantastic. I'm surprised it's not even money yet.
Yeah, as we're sitting here, it is creeping closer.
It's even.
I've been seeing. I'm pretty sure before we started the stream today, I put in my bet and it's already gotten a lot closer.
You put in plus 160 for Gaichi?
Oh man, I'd have to pull it up to see what I got before because I think it's plus 125 right now or something like that or close to, and I think I got it closer to 160 or 180.
Yeah, so I mean, we're at 125. We're not far off of getting fucking even money there. So if you got even money on Gaichi or plus money, plus 180, plus 160, that's good money on Gaichi. That's a smart bet. That's the right bet, especially after you found out that Like if you were watching the weigh-ins and you saw Oliveira missed fucking weight and you were not placing a bet immediately, then, but that's when you could make the most money off, because I think it started out like plus 220.
Mm-hmm. All right. So now that we've jumped baseball and then back to fighting, we'll jump on to our last
baseball,
sports we want
fighting.
to go over.
So do we have anything else in baseball we want to cover? Because I know you wanted to, like, I didn't even want to talk about baseball. You were like, we have got to talk about the fucking umpires.
I keep on seeing all this stuff with officiating, and I hate when officials start to fuck with the game.
Yeah.
Any sport. So yeah, it was getting at me. But well, I guess we can just jump into hockey here. So hockey playoffs are going on right now.
Yes.
It's the first round. And I am passively watching, and I don't really want to say a whole lot because I'm like a big fucking jinx for my teams. Wild are number 2.
I remember this.
And they are currently up 2-1 in their series with the St. Louis Blues. And obviously I am pulling for my Wild team because I think that they are fucking awesome. Just like I thought that my Mavericks were good, and then they had the Blues in the championship. Sad day. Carol the Thrill has just looked like a champion, an all-star. Love having him on the team. So going to continue passively watching that as much as possible. I will be getting more excited as the playoffs move along here for us. So I don't want to say too much about it.
Yeah. So I have not got into the NHL playoffs yet. This is another one of those types of playoffs I don't watch until the second round. And honestly, I'm not a huge hockey guy, but I am going to pay attention to this because obviously I got a podcast. I got to pay attention to it, right? That, and the team that I actually kind of grew up watching when I learned about what the fuck hockey was is the Avalanche. And the Avalanche are fucking looking real good. They are up 2-0 in their series against the Predators. Right now they're up 5-3 at the end of the second period. These are all 7-game series, right? Every single one in the NHL still 7 games. I think they are.
I'm positive.
I think the only 5-game series we have is Major League Baseball and the Division Series. Everything else, I believe, is 7-game series.
Don't know.
But either way, the Avalanche are looking real fucking good right now. So I got a couple buddies that big Avalanche fans. I'm an Avalanche fan. I might have to start paying a little bit more attention to the Columbus team here. But right now, man, I'm pumped that the Avalanche are playing well. And we talked about this a little bit last year about this time because we actually are past the 1-year anniversary of the show. That, like, when the playoffs start, or the NHL, is it NHL playoffs or is it the Stanley Cup playoffs? What do we call it?
I mean, you can call it either. It's the Stanley Cup playoffs, but
it is the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, oh yeah, there it is, right in front of my fucking face. Stanley Cup playoffs. This is good hockey. I love hockey in person. I don't necessarily love hockey on TV. It's a little tough to watch.
I can get into either. I can get into either. I mean, in person, hockey's fucking amazing, but I can still get into those games. I mean, the people at work that were watching me watch those college hockey playoff games, they'll know I was like acting like a fucking idiot there at work. So I can get into it on TV too.
Oh, so don't get me wrong. I do like hockey. When I went to that fucking game up in Tucson, was it the Roadrunners?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was on Facebook and Twitter just tweeting out the dumbest shit, fucking talking hockey lingo that I learned from Letterkenny about, all the games, because it's fun. Those games in person are super fucking fun. I'm gonna pay a little closer attention, especially now. I got this super fast ass internet. I got cable out here because I don't have to deal with dumbass Cox internet. It's so nice being close to a big city, but not actually in one.
Like I did amenities.
I did a speed test on my internet Actually, I'm gonna run one right now. I'm gonna run one right now just to make sure that
show
I'm
off.
not fucking lying. Yeah, yep. So my internet speed on my down right now is about 379.9. That's my download speed. Like when I was trying to hook up the Xbox and everything as we got in here, I had closed NAT types. It was all bullshit, and then I did my magic. And 19.8 up. So I'm so excited to be out in Ohio. I'm very pumped about my internet, and I'm excited to watch a little bit more hockey coming up because my Avalanche are just fucking smacking the shit out of the Predators in this first round. You doing a speed test now too?
No, I don't need to see that.
You don't want to be disappointed or?
I was gonna make a penis joke. Yeah, there's no need for me to look at that because I know what we're working with out here.
Yeah, that place. I miss you guys. I miss you guys a lot. Everybody back there in Arizona, Spicy Mike, Goose, Kayla. I love you guys. We miss you. But God, Ohio has been fantastic for us so far. Actually, speaking of Goose, because we said we were going to bullshit a little bit on today's show. One thing I did not know, and one thing I find interesting about Goose. So, our guy, Bobbert Goblin, Gosselin is his last name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why he has the name Goose? What is it because of the way it's spelled, or I mean, have we ever talked about that? Like,
I believe that when he first moved into the standardization shop, Sean was calling him Goose, and I was like, "Oh, is that his nickname?" He's like, "I don't know." I started calling him that, so it just kind of stuck. That's the etymology that I know.
Okay, so Gosselin, it looks like Goose the way he spells it, right? So something I did not know until I moved out here where there's a lot of Canadian geese is that a baby goose is called a gosling.
Yep.
I did not know that. So his name is Goslin. We call him Goose. Is it because of the way his name is spelt, or is it because a baby goose is a goslin?
I don't know if there's that much thought going into it, but I mean, yeah, it's all in the same realm or spectrum of where it would come from.
All right. Well, I mean,
I couldn't tell you. I call him a lot of things other than just Goose. So.
Yeah, well. So I thought it was very interesting the other day. Producer Amber's like, wait, what? You call him? Is it because his name is Goslin that you call him Goose? Is like, honestly, I didn't know baby geese were called goslings.
Yep.
Had no fucking idea.
Yep. All right. So with the NHL stuff out there, we'll get more into that as the NHL playoffs move along. Hopefully both your Avalanche and Kayla's Avalanche and my Wild are advancing. We'll see some good matchups there. Again, I'm trying to not ruin it for my team. But then we go over to the NBA. The NBA playoffs are also going on. My team is out of that. And that was partially because I started watching the fucking games. So also partially because they just, barely got in through the play-in bracket. And but now we've got the Golden State Warriors, Memphis Grizzlies going against each other. We've got the Phoenix Suns and the Dallas Mavericks. You've got the Miami Heat and 76ers and the Bucks and Celtics. Those are your last 8 teams there in the playoffs.
Yeah, so NBA playoffs have been the first round week. Everybody knows what's going to happen in the first round of the NBA playoffs. There are almost never any surprises. The Bucks came back tonight. They were down as we started the show. They were down, I want to say like 8 points. Came back. They got a big win, 103-101 against the Celtics. And I believe the Celtics are actually the higher seeded team. So the Bucks are fantastic, man. I love Giannis. I love everything about Giannis. I like the fact that he has called out some of these other people in the league about joining these fucking super teams. We talked about it a little bit last week about the Nets going down and not making it any farther with Durant and Kyrie. We talked about the Lakers just being a terrible fucking team that we predicted at the start of the year because there's just too many personalities, too much shit going on. And Giannis is just there being a leader, leading his team, getting another big dub. Now, I would like to see another Bucks Suns matchup from last year. I think they're probably the two best teams, but the Heat coming out of the East are really fucking good. Jimmy Butler is a stud. Kyle Lowry has played well. This is the time where you watch NBA basketball. It's very late in the year. It's going to be fun. But, I mean, for me, Giannis is my guy. The only team that I think that is going to possibly bump the Suns against repeating against the Bucks could be the Warriors, man. A team that I thought was basically dead. So,
yeah. And then with the Golden State Warriors, I think one of the bigger storylines there is Draymond Green taking that elbow to the face. So, him being able to play, I believe what I was hearing yesterday was that he hadn't cleared all the protocols to play yet, possibly, but he might. I don't know. I'm not as tied in with that as I probably should be.
So I think, I don't know if he's cleared to play yet. I know that he was going apeshit on Twitter saying that he has been ejected or suspended for less.
I mean, he just had a $25,000 fine for flipping off the fans.
I don't care. Fuck the fans sometimes. Like, seriously, like, I get it, man. Like, if you were in that situation, like, and people are just constantly fucking chirping you, how are you not going to have a little bit of, like, I'm an adult-ish, right? Like I said, I needed Amber to be my adult for the most part. If I'm in that situation, I don't know that I'm holding back either. Like, I cannot blame him for that. I mean,
the fans are right there up on you. It's tough not to engage with them.
That is. Are you in agreement? Or are you off on a different tangent? Shut the fuck up.
No. I don't have a problem with them engaging with the fans like that. I obviously like to keep a modicum of civility, being a professional athlete, but at the end of the day, like, you are in the heat of the moment. You are heated in general overall with all sorts of stuff. It's you're gonna have those interactions with the fans, and $25 is drop in the bucket.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I'd be willing to bet that is producer Amber. I don't know why she's coming up as Facebook user, but Baby Goose is now Goose's name.
Mm-hmm.
What up, Dave? Good to hear from you. And no, I get it. You want to win your money. Giannis is a stud. You can't. I mean,
you got that Giannis jersey, Dave. Come on.
Yeah, you have a Giannis jersey. I get it. Let's make that money, but Giannis is starting to shoot that three a little bit more. Probably don't bet the under on the Giannis. Yeah, there we go. See, now he's following along. Don't bet the under on the Giannis three. He's starting to shoot it a lot more. And if he starts to actually add a decent 3-point game, like if he can shoot that bitch at like a 30% clip, he's the best player in the league. No question. No fucking question. He's the best player in the league. If he shoots that at a 30% clip. I know, Dave. I know he's not supposed to make them. He's 7 foot tall. His arms are as long as I am. Like, it's just, I get it. He's not supposed to make them. But he's shooting them a lot more. He's a well-rounded basketball player, and he's working on his game.
Yeah. So
he is now the new best basketball player in the league.
Yeah,
he surpassed LeBron.
I think that especially as of this year, I mean, we'll see what Brown has in the future. I think he's
it's Giannis. Giannis is the best player in the league.
Yep. It's an easy bet, or it was. Not anymore. Yeah, so for me, kind of like you brought up, I would like to see the Phoenix Suns and the Bucks go at it again in the finals. But we'll see if we get there. You know, we still got a lot of basketball left to play here in the playoffs before we get down to those final two teams.
Yeah, I mean, the Celtics are pretty good. The Heat are good. Out in the West, I mean, Ja Morant has been really fucking special. That kid is a superstar in the making.
With how much they had the back and forth with the Wolves, I'm not feeling like the Grizz are going to be able to beat the Golden State Warriors.
I don't think they can beat them, but Ja Morant is a superstar who at some point can lead a team to a title. He is that good. In the NBA, you need that guy. You need that superstar. Ja Morant is that guy. If you can put enough pieces around him. Very much like Giannis, right? Giannis is playing for Milwaukee. The Bucks are not a destination for fucking free agents. You have to draft well. You have to find pieces to put around a guy like a Chris Middleton for Giannis. Like Jeez, go away. Kids are screaming on the porch. But if they can find a couple of pieces to go around Ja, the Grizzlies could win a title with him.
I don't see it being this year.
That's not this year. No. I mean, it's going to be Golden State versus the Suns for the Western Conference Finals. And that's going to be a super fun series to watch.
Absolutely. All right, man. Got anything else you want to go over?
I do not have any of this to go over, but so we did talk about some hockey. I actually brought up Letterkenny a little bit. One thing before we get out of here. Have you seen Shorzy yet?
Nope. I have been holding off on it.
You're trying to wait. Are you waiting for the season to fully drop? Or
yeah, I've seen little clips, the little trailers and stuff like that. But it's whenever a new season of Letterkenny comes out, I just binge watch the whole thing.
Yeah, that's one day. It's about 3-4 hours worth of TV, and you just fucking crush it.
So I'm kind of, just saving myself as much as possible for it.
Okay, yeah. So I'm very much the same. I am very much anticipating, waiting to watch Shorzy. I want to get all of them out there and just crush an entire fucking day of Shorzy because, it's going to be so goddamn good.
Absolutely.
That's one of the reasons that I love hockey more. Now I know how to speak hockey lingo because of Letterkenny and
absolutely.
Going fucking top shelf.
Give your balls a tug, tit fucker.
Yeah. Fucking. Oh. Got the fucking dirty dangles, baby.
Absolutely. All right, man. Well, I'm about to piss my chonies.
Okay. Well, I'm going to let you get out of here. We'll wrap this up. Yeah, you have got a lot of shit to do tonight. You got to go drink, entertain your lady and her mom. So we'll get out of here. Guys, this is the Lineman Lounge. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Mike. That's Evo. You can check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We have not been banned, so we're still there. And anywhere that you check out podcasts, does not matter what platform. I promise you can't find one that we're not on. And we'll see you guys next week. See you.
See you.
Welcome to the Lineman Lounge, hosted by Mike and Evo, calling their shots and being outlandish.
Breaking news from the Lineman Lounge. My fantasy football team just took a huge fucking hit. And that also makes it even more likely that the Raiders are going to beat the Ravens on Monday night. Le'Veon Bell is about to be your starter. Latavius Murray is going to go there as well. Jesus, fuck my ass.
Get ready for the thickest podcast in the game. Coming to you